Boom, hey internets. Wanted to drop this video at least once a year, especially around graduation time. I'll do something that's for fashion students and young creatives, as more people have different routes for education and not just college, especially with something that is in a creative field. There's different ways that you can make it, but definitely want to set around students and young professionals that are striving for a career inside of fashion, inside of working with brands. And so you saw the title. This question actually came up. If you guys don't know, back in the day, I would speak at a lot of colleges and I would be a portfolio judge for a lot of art colleges as well. Spoke a lot at a Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising. And so one question that would come up is, how can a young creative stand out? And so this answer comes to you whether you're a student or you're thinking of becoming a fashion or a design student, or you're just a hustler trying to put a brand together or trying to carve a name for yourself as a designer, as a creative director. This is a good answer for all of it. But as I said in the title, you want to have novelty. And what I mean by that is you want to be thinking out of the box. And I didn't want to give you a flat answer because that's a stupid video. I want to give you real examples. So when I was making my way, when I was making my name as John Phenom, the designer, a lot of you might know or don't know, before the internet, I was known as the handmade denim maker. And so I would make handmade jeans for $300 a pair. It was all bespoke denim. I would do it from raw denim bolts, and I would sew together these jeans, these one-offs, these premiums together for people. So that's one way I would differentiate myself. Now, bar you going to buy an industrial sewing machine so you can make jeans for people, there's a lot of things you could do to kind of promote yourself. And it helps now that every individual is like a brand, right? So like your Instagram, or maybe a separate Instagram for your designs and the kind of projects you're doing, can be dedicated like a vlog or a blog towards a lot of those efforts and any of your creative endeavors. Is a way that you can get it out into the atmosphere and people could start following exactly the kind of work you're doing. So I did a video on this before, but something as simple as a business card. So this is my business card. And as you can see, the theme of this card is like a 70s athletic card, like a basketball card. It's fully retro. I was wearing a wig. I put the whole outfit together from a thrift shop. And so it was a full-on photo shoot just so I could have this concept of making my business card look like a collectible sports card. And this gets a reaction every single time. Especially now in these days where we don't use business cards as much. A lot of people will just enter their information directly, or you might get someone's Instagram and then follow up later. Nowadays, doing something novelty with a business card can really separate yourself, especially when you're networking. Here's the second example I want to give you, and actually behind me on the wall here, so you guys probably won't notice it that much. So this is actually a promo that I used to send with my resume to different companies when I was applying for a job. Even back when I was looking for junior designer or just straight up apparel designer positions, I would physically print out my resume and I would physically send this in a video box. So I'm going way back, but back when people would use video cassette tapes that were a little bit bigger than this is the perfect size for that. So I'd put my resume and this in a video cassette box, and I would send it to the art director or the creative director, the VP of design, whoever or whatever the powers that would be at that company, so I could physically send something rather than just emailing my resume to that company. So I do my research to find who I needed to send it to and get it to them. At one point, I had someone call me right after receiving this and offer me the job without any interview. They said, if you could get out here to LA, because I was coming from San Diego, they said, if you could get out here to LA, we're gonna give you the job. And so this has also always garnered a really good response. And the third thing I want to show you is way back when, right after high school, I started a t-shirt line. And so this brand was really a vehicle for me to learn Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, and have a real working little brand that I could gear towards what I wanted to do when I worked as an apparel designer. Now, I knew that this was always gonna be printables. I was just doing sweatshirts and t-shirts, and eventually I wanted to do cut and sew apparel, but it was a great basis for me to start. It also served as a part-time job, so instead of working at, say, Starbucks, this would pull in a good couple hundreds of dollars every time I would do a drop or a new little collection of t-shirts. And so this is an example of what the packaging looked like, and you can see that it has a hanger tag on it, and that was an opportunity for me to put more graphics or tell a story of the brand and what I was doing. I would put it in a poly bag, as you can see here, and I would put little different things inside of it. Now, essentially I was selling this out of my trunk, but for it to not seem so unrefined, I wanted to put this hanger tag, put it in a poly bag, so it just felt a little bit more eloquent as I was selling person to person. And this also really came in really heavy with people understanding what I was doing. There was a good reaction to it. And also within my first interview where I got hired as a designer, the owner of the company really focused on this t-shirt brand that I had put together when I was about 18, 19 and 20 years old. And they're really stoked on that. And it's really that above anything in my portfolio that got me the job as my first job in apparel design at a skate company in San Diego. So I hope that helps. 3 different examples of how you can use novelty, how I actually use novelty to help me at different points of my career. And so for you, that could be something different. I would definitely involve technology with it. There's so many tools at your disposal. You have University of YouTube where you could learn almost anything. So if you're a young creative, if you're a young student, I would say use novelty, think out of the box, think of how people are going to view and consume the projects that you're going to put out. Think of how you want to market yourself and differentiate yourself from the pack so that you'll be top of mind and memorable, so that someone can say, I want to work with this young person, or I want to collab with this person. So thinking those ways is going to be more than half the battle, and then execution of the concept is going to be the other half, and that's going to be everything. Hope that helps. If you guys have any other questions, please drop them all down below. I drop a ton of game for you guys, so please like and subscribe. It really helps us with the algorithm. Another way to contact me is to text me at this number here. It gets my iPhone every single time. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.